home, listening to your SiriusXM satellite radio on channel 167 on your way home from the cottage. Hope you had a good weekend. Looks like we could be in for a little bit of rain here in Ontario. I believe that Nicholas Naugle was twisting laps so fast yesterday at Riverside. He took that cool, damp weather and he pushed it all the way into Ontario. But we'll get to all of that in just a moment. Let me tell you who we got coming on the show tonight. You want to talk about a stellar lineup? We got it for you right here. We're going to kick it all off with that 08 Nicholas Naugle. He won the 150 yesterday at Riverside International Speedway. Of course, the East Coast International Pro Stock Tour went green at Riverside. Got their first stock car race of the year in. And, man, what a day. Watched it all on Tim's Corner TV, and I'll tell you what, street stocks were there. They had the Sportsman Series. It was a dynamite day. We'll get to the results in just a bit. We'll also hear tonight from J.R. Fitzpatrick. He went out and won himself an APC race. That's right. Round 2 happened at Flamboro Speedway, and nobody was going to catch J.R. Fitzpatrick. He's going to join us here live on the show Friday night at Delaware Speedway. The Super Stocks took center stage on the beautiful half mile. It was Trevor Collver in the one car. He was the guy that outran all of them on Friday night. Trevor Collver's going to join the show. Then, also on Friday night, it was the Action Sprint Tour on dirt at the Big O. Getting it done was Mack DeMan. I'll tell you, there was a lot of hard hits on Friday night at the Big O, but the biggest was that Mack DeMan guy. I'll tell you, he did a great job behind the wheel of the 4-car. Mack DeMan going to stop on by. We're going to head off to Canada's West, and we're going to catch up with Matthew Shirley. He drives the 12 Super Late model, but we're going to talk to him about not only a Super Late model, we'll catch up with some Sutherland Automotive Speedway, shall we? We'll do that with Matthew tonight. And then a little further, all the way out to the west coast of Canada, right out into BC, and it was J.F. Lanier out in his super modified. They're called a Northwest Sprint Car Tour out there. And JF was behind the wheel, picked up a trophy dash win, and he had himself a good day at Penticton Speedway. They got rained out Friday night, but Saturday, the clouds parted, and the guys got a chance to get behind those rocket wheels, and JF Lanier going to jump on the show with us in hour number 2. So that's what we got coming up. I got a bunch of results to go through, and I'll tell you about some coming events. All the above, all coming at you all live tonight on SiriusXM, channel 167, Canada Talks at 5 p.m. Eastern. That's where you're going to find us each and every Sunday night now, 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern. But what do you say we get to our first guest? This driver, man, I'll tell you what, he had a disastrous heat race. Cut a tire down, looked like, oh man, he was going to have to start dead last. And I believe he did start just about dead last for the 150, but he didn't stay there a whole long time. The 08 Nicholas Naugle made his way to the front. There was more twists and turns in this baby, but we'll go through them all with our guest. What's going on there, Mr. Nicholas Naugle, feature winner, Riverside? How you doing, buddy?
Good, and yourself?
Doing good, man. Oh, man, quite a race for you yesterday. That one had you guessing all the way through, right from qualifying up.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a busy day for me and my team. Can't thank them enough, though. Definitely got the results that we were looking for, and it was hard fought.
So what happened in the heat race there? Was that like I seen cut down tire, but how did you cut that tire down? Did you run something over, or was it contact? What was it? How did you do that?
Yeah, unfortunately, there was a little contact between me and the 42 car there. It was just a racing ordeal, unfortunately. But what ended up happening is it cut the sidewall out of our tire and ended our heat race pretty quick.
Yeah. Well, I seen you right, I guess it was right near the end of pit road. I thought the guys were going to pick you up, and then it looked like they weren't going to pick you up. And there was a bunch of, I don't know, I could see hands going inside the car. I could see guys talking inside the window, and I was going, okay, boys, pick him up. Go. He's got to get back to the pit. But what was going on there?
Yeah, that was the biggest issue. When it cut the tire down, unfortunately, it laid on the sway bar arm, and we started to drag it off. And I kind of knew sitting on the front stretch, I didn't want to move the car much more due to that. And so I limped it over to pit road, and then luckily they came and hooked us up and drug us back. But it was just at that point it was damage control, making sure that we didn't drag the back of the car off or anything stupid. I knew it was unfortunate for the heat race, but it wasn't the end of our day, and I didn't want to make it the end of our day.
Good thinking. That's what you need to do. You got to remain calm, cool, and collected. It's hard to do when stuff happens that is negative connotation, so to speak, with your race car. But you really do got to remain calm, cool, and collected, don't you?
Yeah. Oh, you definitely gotta think of the bigger picture all the time. A lot of the time, I know a lot of drivers get really heated in the moment, and you start thinking short term, but you can't say it's over until it's over. That's the big thing.
Well, if you got heated over that, man, I'll tell you what, throughout the course of that 150, you had opportunity to get heated up a few times in this baby, and you didn't. Let's go back to the 150. Needless to say, with that cut down tire in the heat race, you didn't start real well. You were back there a wee bit.
Yeah, no, we ended up having to start shotgun on the field due to that. Thought it was going to be a hard go, but unfortunately, Russell Smith Jr. got put back there too for issues during the qualifying session. So I had someone to come up through with at least, and it's always fun running with a friend. It makes it a little easier going up through.
And it would too. How did it feel at Riverside? Any different this year than ever before, Nicholas? I know you've ran at Riverside lots. Did it feel any different this year? Did the track winter any different?
Track always has its own characteristics. It changes day to day. I mean, we started the day in the heat, and by the time the feature came, it started to mist a little. The temperature dropped 15 degrees. It definitely changed handling on the car a bit, but didn't really affect us too much. I definitely just tried to keep my head on straight, and we dialed the car in best we could and made what we could work.
Well, that Breck-on car was definitely working. You did work your way up through the field in the 150. I want to say it was 10, maybe 12 laps to go. You were sitting third at that time, or second, sorry. 10 to go, you were in second. The 99 of Craig Sloan-White was out front. Out behind you, the 41, you got to give it up to Rogers, too. That man really ran a good race yesterday. But the 41 of Rogers, the 89 Nova Celtic Ford of Chisholm, they were duking it out in the third slot. Donald ends up getting that. 10 to go, and you in the 99. Contact is made. You guys sort of go for a little bit of a sideways slide. The 89 of Donald Chisholm shot through, gets the lead, but he couldn't hold it.
Yeah, no, it was quite the ordeal leading up to that. I mean, Craig was out there by 20 car lengths at one point, it seemed, and just slowly just kept my head on straight and very monotonous, and just kept my head down, hit my marks, and kept reeling them in little by little by little. And I knew we had a better car, so it was no time to panic. And then once we got to him, I attempted to make the pass a couple times on the outside, and we couldn't make it work. And then we tried on the inside, and we were making gains, and then catastrophe happened. I mean, the two of us went sliding there, and I want to say it's a moment where you don't want to panic, but the car was full lock and was just trying to save it. And then when it hooked back up, no time to think, just keep on pushing forward. Donald had gotten by us, and I just had to keep digging. I didn't even stop to think about what just happened, and just kept pushing forward.
You know, and neither one of you, the 99 nor yourself, Nicholas, lost your mind, so to speak. Yeah, there was contact, and I seen you off turn 2 looking on the high side. I thought, wow, Nick, you're going to go on the high side, the big side, and you're going to keep the momentum up. But the 99 car felt you there too, right? He was doing his job trying to keep the line, so to speak. But you can't have both the top and the bottom at the same time. If you do, something's bound to happen. And sure enough, it did. But good on you guys, both professional short track racers. Neither one of you is wiped out, hit the fence, turned around, or anything like that. You basically both slid up. The 89 car squirted through, and the two of you continued on. It was quite a display. And honestly, I thought, Donald Chisholm real strong in that race early, but he wasn't that strong. He was the third-place car for all intents and purposes at the 10 to go mark of that race.
Yes, sir. No, it was there was definitely no malicious intent there with that whole ordeal, and I'd attempted the top side, and you could tell that the 99 was just trying to keep the position. It's doing everything possible, and I was trying to take it. That's what it come down to. And what happened, and then we kept moving forward. And Donald was good. He was early on. He was hard to contend with, and it was definitely nerve wracking. And when he got by us, I didn't really think much and just kept digging. Went to the outside, and we made the pass happen. And at that point, I knew there was definitely going to be some tempers behind everyone pushing, trying to get. There was 4 or 5 cars that could have won that race, so it was time to start checking out. We just started putting laps down and making a gap.
Well, you guys did a magnificent job. The 99 at Craig White, again, a great race for Craig. I know he wanted to win just like you. You got to know 89 wanted to win. The 29 of Greg Proud, he was looking good early in the race, too. The 41, as you mentioned, there was a lot of really good iron in that race. It only speaks to what we can look forward to in the IWK 250 coming up July the 15th. What do you got between now and then? You got a bunch of races planned, or what's the plan for the 08 car?
Yeah, no, this season we're planning on running a full-time tour with the East Coast International Pro Stock Tour for certain. As it seems to go, we're going to keep racing the SLMS tour around here, as many as we feel fit that it's not going to affect our run with the East Coast tour. And looking forward until now, we run PEI with the SLMS tour next week, and then the following week is Scotia with East Coast, and from there on we'll see what happens. But we're definitely going to keep racing hard and trying.
I can guarantee it. You always put on a good show, Nicholas. You got the season started off early, heading down to New Smyrna Speedway, and man, those laps got to come all into play now. Like when everybody else was just firing up here a month ago, you had laps on. Does it feel like you had laps on, or what was the the takeaway, if you will, from what you experienced at Smyrna?
Yeah, I definitely feel laps never hurt anyone, and I was lucky to have the chance to do a bunch of racing this winter, and I never really had downtime. The longest I went being out of a car would have been 3 or 4 weeks, and then just being able to keep racing week after week and keeping my skills sharp, I did feel coming back when everyone else had taken the winter and prepared their cars and all that. We didn't have that luxury. We kept racing the same cars and got them ready, and then definitely going into the first race, I felt like I had a slight advantage, just not having to knock the rust off, for better words.
Yeah, and you didn't have to. I'll tell you what, you looked good in victory lane yesterday, and all I can say is, well, look out, this IWK 250, she's going to be off the hook again this year. It always is that race, but I'll tell you, after watching the 150, this is going to be a different one this year. This is even going to be better than what we're used to, I believe.
Yes, sir. I'm definitely looking forward. This year, I have a lot of help with John Fleming and his crew. I looked up to them a ton growing up, and now we're at the opportunity where John's coming in and doing a bunch of driver coaching with me and helping me get some of that experience at a young age. It's mind-blowing how much it's helping me, and getting to run his old car and stuff. It's definitely a big change, and it's for the best.
Oh, don't tell Jerry Paxton that Fleming is with you. He'll be looking for free chicken. Him and Brad Mann will be looking for free chicken at the IWK 250s. Too funny with Fleming. I'll tell you what, those guys like throwing a fry to the seagulls when they would get into the pit at Riverside. Of course, John had that chicken on the side of his car, and they always kept him well supplied. The RTR crew was ascending on that trailer pretty big. I can well imagine that they'll be picking on you now, bud.
Oh, that's for sure. Like I say, I just can't thank everyone enough. My crew is the best on the business. They support me through it all, and I mean, the sponsors make it happen, but they're the ones behind the scenes, week in and week out, supporting me, fixing my mistakes, for better word, and just they're always there for me. I have some of the best in the business.
Well, you got Brycon on there. I know that. You guys lay down excellent concrete. Who else you got on the 08, bud?
This year we have Brycon Construction with us as always, Mobile One, McDonald Automotive, Celtic Air Services, Wingnut Productions, and Conway Customs. Like these guys are great. I just a great bunch of people, and I can't thank them enough. They allow me to do what I love to do.
Well, and you do a great job of it. You're doing them all proud. Congratulations, Nicholas, on the win. Much continued success, and have a good trip over to PEI. Say hi to Robbie and all the guys out there. We'll be keeping our eyes pinned on you. I can guarantee that. Good luck.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me on the show again. Always enjoy coming on.
You betcha. That's Nicholas Naugle, one of the best out there on the east coast of Canada. Got it done at Riverside International Speedway, along with Brady Kramer in the 10 car. He's the one that won the Henry's Auto Pro 100 in the sportsman class. What a race there. And how about Logan Power? Yeah, the number 58 street stock. First time street stock's back on that big, beautiful speedway. For the past 19 years, they haven't been on that speedway. And Logan Power goes out, gets the job done twice. It was twin 40s. Logan goes out and wins them both. Cormier had a great job, too. They came up a little bit short. Nobody was topping Logan Power. Of course, we heard from him on Racetime Radio a couple of months ago in preparations of getting ready. Good job by Craig McFetrich. I'll tell you what, that mass sportsman tour and the street stocks are all coming to life, and good for everybody. The fans really win. We're going to hit a quick break. When we come back, hopefully, J.R. Fitzpatrick, driver the number 84, is going to be with us, and we'll talk APC on the other side of the break. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple of moments.
Hey, race fans, this is Larry Barrio, and you're listening to Racetime Radio on SiriusXM, Channel 167, Canada.
From coast to coast, you're listening to Canada Talks.
Racetime Radio is brought to you by RPM Race Parts. Order today, race tomorrow. Also by VP Race Fuels, the worldwide leader in race fuel technology. And by Dawson Dental Centers. Get your victory lane smile at dawsondental.ca. It's time to get back to the racetracks. For over 30 years, Quick Fire Starters have fueled this sport on and off the track, making lighting your campfire as easy as 1, 2, 3. There's no need for kindling or paper. Just pop your Quick Fire Starter in the pit, add your wood, and presto, you're a pro. Quick Fire Starters. No harmful chemicals, and guaranteed to light your fire every time. Quick Fire Starters, the world's best fire starter.
When you think NASCAR, think SiriusXM NASCAR Radio.
This may be the most important thing that's ever happened.
You're damn right, baby.
The races.
The Daytona 500 win.
Good job. Wow.
I love that we have playoff racing now.
The talk shows.
We'd love for you guys to participate as well.
The unprecedented access.
Well, I'm here at the red carpet with the fans.
SiriusXM NASCAR Radio, Channel 90.
Chastain did a video game move.
Also streaming on the SXM app.
I think they're happy down here.
The Riverside 250 started back in 1977 at Riverside International Speedway. The 250 has continued for all but a couple of years since. In 2007, the 250 was titled the IWK 250 and has been Canada's crown jewel event to win every year. The tradition continues this July 15th weekend with the IWK 250 tailgate party on Thursday night, then Friday night. It's the Auto World Sportsman Series, Henry's Auto Pro 100. And then on Saturday, it's the IWK 250 featuring the stars of the East Coast International Pro Stock Tour and teams from across Canada and the U.S. For tickets and camping info, get to riversidespeedway.ca and join us live at Canada's ultimate short track race, the IWK 250 presented by Steve Lewis.
Even though Napa is a nationally known name, nearly all of our stores are built from the ground up by local owners and families. People you might call neighbors will be here, there, and everywhere, doing what neighbors do to keep their communities moving forward. You stop by a Napa Auto Parts store, you can count on Napa know-how.
Tonight's Racetime Radio is brought to you by Napa Auto Parts Stores, New Glasgow, Antigonish, and Port Hawkesbury, Nova Scotia. You can count on Napa know-how.
VP Race Fuels, the worldwide leader in race fuel technology.
Nothing connects like country music. Country music. Dig in to SiriusXM's Country Universe. The next generation on the highway, Channel 56.
I need something you.
This millennium's hits on Y2 Country, Channel 61. Or 80s and 90s prime country on Channel 58. Tap into these and more in the country category on the SXM app, included with all trials and popular plans.
Taking you all the way to the track and back. It's Race Time Radio.
And welcome back, everybody, all live tonight on SiriusXM Channel 167 Canada Talks in our brand new time slot, 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern, and we'll be here every Sunday night at this time. Sure glad you could tune in. Hope you had a good time at the cottage or wherever you were on your way home. And good news, we're going to talk APC. You missed it over the weekend. Well, you're going to catch up right now because we have the winner of that APC. The Grisdale Products 100 was just last night at Flamboro Speedway, and the guy that's been getting her done all season long in a different car number, the 55 at Flamboro Speedway, he was in the number 84 like he always is in the APC series. His name, J.R. Fitzpatrick, and he joins us right now on the Zoom line. What's going on there, J.R.? Have you slowed down yet? You lapped just about everybody last night, buddy.
Not much. Just gonna make the girls some dinner soon. Have a relaxing Sunday, and try and catch up on some sleep, I guess.
Yeah, that a boy. Yeah, you've earned a little bit of a shutdown now. You guys picked it up from Sunset Speedway. What did you have at Sunset? Race number 1. Was that a 6th place finish or was it top 5?
No, it was a 9th. Definitely uncharacteristic of us, but I think just what we had happen there was just overthinking and trying to plan for the 150 lap instead of just sticking to our normal program. So that's what we planned for this weekend, is just go in and do what we normally do, and it really showed. I mean, that car last night had just outrageous speed, and it went green to checkered the whole way. I think it's only the second time in Tour history that has happened, and definitely played in our favor.
Yeah, one other time I remember it was at the beach, JR, where you guys did go green to checker. I want to say it wasn't even 33 minutes of a race, but it was action-packed. I can guarantee you that. Same thing last night at Flamboro Speedway. You guys got underway. Everybody seemed to get sorted out. There was a lot of two-wide racing, a lot of racing back in the field, a little bit of incidental contact, but nothing real big. How was it behind the wheel of the 84? Were you thinking, man, the yellow's going to come out, until you got into the closing stages of the race, and then you went, man, the yellow better not come out now?
Well, so I knew we were good all day. I mean, we went and practiced before the race, obviously. I did 10 laps tonight. I had the 55 there, and I knew right away it was going to be good. And then when we offloaded, sure enough, first thing in practice, same thing, just raw speed. And then when we qualify, I ended up hitting the track in 3 and 4, which really hurt us. But I knew with the inversion starting second with Kyle Steckley, I didn't think I was going to get him because we were hitting the track so hard. And then as the car got hotter and hotter, and then tire pressure built up, the car just came to life. And I love racing against Kyle. And I knew right then that I'm like, oh, young fella, you better get moving because this car is coming to life. And sure enough, it really did, man. In like lap 20 or something, that thing just hooked right up. And I was trying my best to save what I could, but at the same time, I couldn't save too much because Kyle was really fast. And I never thought it would go all the way to checkered, but it did. So it definitely played in our favor. And unfortunately, Chenoweth had a flat right front, which was crappy to see for him because he was fast. He was running third. But I got thinking, man, if he rolls to a stop to try and get out of the way safely, that's going to be a caution with under 10 to go. So I was really nervous, but he kept rolling, and we just carried on. And I think we lapped up to 5th or something like that. We were all over 4th place there, but I didn't want to force the issue. That'd be my luck. I'd probably spin him and go to the back.
Yeah, that's happened, right? It's happened before on a little technicality, and it comes around and bites you right in the rear deck lid. But, JR, what's it been like? You've been running Flamboro Speedway, the Saturday night program there, in the number 55 car. Again, that car has been really good. But what's it like going from that car into the 84 and bouncing back and forth? It's got to be difficult, but you're getting results in both.
Yeah, it was. I really noticed the difference when I had them both there in one night. Like I said, I did the 10 laps in mine first, and I jumped in Chris's 55 after, and it just everything. Your vision is different. The way the seats are, the gauges, just everything's so different. The cars both have their own characteristics, but
something big with the 84 car. I seen Teddy McAllister outside the window net there last night. He looked pretty happy. He looked like the Teddy of old. He was pretty pumped up with the win, and good on him.